Hey, this video is all about the RiNo neighborhood, the River North Art District in Denver, Colorado, and it is the area of our city that I think has taken the biggest transformation over the past 10 years. So if you want to see why all the young go-hards are in this area scooting around, there's so many places to eat, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So if you're into that, stay tuned. Hey, I'm Sean Murphy, team leader of the Moxie Denver team, a real estate team here in the Mile High area, and we love making videos about what it's like to live in this city, pros and cons, cost of living, neighborhood tours like we're doing today. And so if you're into that and you want to stay up to date when we put out a new video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified each time that we release one. And today, it's a big topic to handle. This is a heavy load because there's so much to talk about the RiNo neighborhood. So I have backup today, and it ain't this guy, but it's this guy right here, Taylor Fink. TJ Fink is a buddy of mine. I couldn't think of anyone else I would rather have take us around this neighborhood. TJ lives in this neighborhood, and I know he stomps around here all the time and is the perfect tour guide to tell us why he loves living in this area. All right, so let's talk about the housing in RiNo. If you're looking for a house in RiNo, good luck. You're not gonna find a house in the RiNo area. There are, if you count the border of RiNo, that's technically kind of Foothills, it's the gray area. There are some really small houses there, and they're gonna be like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet, and they're gonna be around 400,000, but like, don't count on that. TJ, how long have you lived in the RiNo neighborhood?
So I moved here in January of 2019 in the middle of winter.
Why did you pick the RiNo neighborhood?
I actually didn't really know where I wanted to live, and I hadn't been here much. The reason I wanted to live here was just because it seemed very up and coming. The thing that I love about this place is just all the different restaurants, bars. It's a great place to live if you just move here, and then it's also a great place to live if like you've lived here for a while. I mean, you can get anywhere in the city 15 minutes from here.
Yeah,
if you don't get hit by a scooter, that is, you know, you could literally get anywhere.
I say all traffic. I say the streets of RiNo are a little dangerous, especially as
they're definitely dangerous
towards Laramie, because some of them have stop signs, some of them don't. You got all kinds of people out here drinking and getting down and riding around on scooters like a bunch of derelicts.
Yeah, no, it's changed so much. I think I heard you mention it. It's changed a lot in the last 10 years, more than any other spot. Well, even since I moved here, like you just see new restaurants left and right, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that place existed. You know, they're small too. They're very quaint places that you haven't even heard of. That so you'll just stumble upon. You know,
Zillow wrote this book about since Zillow became just a big like data collection company basically for real estate, they started to notice trends. One of the trends that they noticed is that when you have a big city in an area that's going to get gentrified, which RiNo definitely has, what you'll typically see is like chefs from like sous chefs and people that are working at big restaurants downtown. They want to start out on their own, so they go to these little small areas where they can open a really small spot, maybe a taco or a food truck or something like that. So that's why you see so many just really tiny spots, right, with like super like unique menus.
Absolutely. I mean, you basically just told the story of one place I love to go, Owlbear Barbecue. I was talking to the owner, and that's another thing. These places are small and they're all over the place, so you really feel like you can connect with the owners, and there's a lot of intricate places. But yeah, this guy moved from Texas. There's a bar down the street, I forget what it's called, there's so many, where it's just all food trucks that hang out. And eventually he got to the point where he's like, all right, I'm ready to do my own place now.
Right.
So that's Owlbear Barbecue. It's on Larimer, right next to our mutual friend Brewing, which is also a spot that I'd love to go to. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on around here.
All right, and so let me talk about the borders for where we are, where RiNo is. And so there are kind of 3 sections, and one of the borders is pretty vague, but it's definitely Park Avenue and Broadway on the west side, and it goes right up below where I-25 and I-70 meet. That's a completely different little section. Kind of some people call it Globeville, but for this video we're gonna call that RiNo, and that area is blowing up. Do you go over there often?
Not really.
You got so much over here.
Yeah, Globeville, there's so much over here, man. I typically, I stick to the Denver market area. That's my favorite spot around here. However, I like to just go on bike rides sometimes because I love looking at new places to live, and they are literally everywhere.
And if you bike to the borders, you would go, I-70 would be the north side, and then it would go, the east side is 38. So those are the borders, and it connects into, like we said, Gloveville, and then also kind of Five Points would be the area right between RiNo and the city. So let's talk transportation. So like you mentioned, you are close to everything in RiNo. Scooters are the best way if you're going within the RiNo territory. Like, that's the way to get around for sure. But if you live here, do you need a car to live in RiNo?
Sprinting is my number one mode of transportation. Honestly, like, I usually am running late, so I like to sprint. But yeah, scooters are great. I mean, quite frankly, walking. I mean, there's so many cool things to look at everywhere that sometimes I'll just take the slow scenic route. I'll take the long way. But then again, I don't ever like taking the same way somewhere. It's like a weird thing that I have, so.
Because you get to walk down like alleys and just see like crazy.
Yeah, there's cool stuff everywhere. I mean, every single day I see something I haven't seen before here, whether it's good or bad, you know? It's all over. There's some negatives to RiNo as well. You know, there's not a whole lot of trees to look at. As you guys can see, it's industrial, but there's always new art to look at.
Right, that's fair. So we're talking the neighborhood. It has one park, really. Curtis Park is it's a good park.
It's great.
But other than that, you might get a little section between the sidewalk and the street where you go and walk your dog. But it's pretty industrial.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm a cat guy. You know, there's not a whole lot of spots for your dog to go to around here. I mean, here's a nice little meadow here that you can go in.
It'll be more quiet here during the day because a lot of people, if they're not working, you know, in one of these restaurants, they'll be downtown working. But then like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, everyone gets out of work and everything starts to fill up. And there are sometimes, like weekends, this is one of the places that I actually try to stay away from the weekends because it'll get so packed and the lines can get so long. And it's pretty annoying. This is the good thing about
this
COVID,
is one of the best things.
They shut down the streets like this, and yeah, it feels more like a festival type vibe.
Yeah.
Outdoor seating and just chill, just get a spot in shade.
I don't know if you have the Shake Shack app, but I actually do. And when COVID first started, I went there probably 3 times a week, like all the time.
Shake Shack?
Yeah, dude, you literally press a button, and I could walk here in 10 minutes and grab my food and walk.
Is this Gerard Pool Hall?
Yeah. This place is sick.
Why is it sick?
This place is pretty small for a bar in RiNo. Not a lot of people know about it. I think the only really entrance you can get in here is through this little alleyway, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's awesome. There's a band that plays every Thursday.
Would you say this is like a divey spot of?
Okay.
There's divey in RiNo.
Totally. This isn't a so-called dive bar, but it's kind of underground, smaller. Definitely a place I like to come if it's more of a low-key night. Yeah, and you can get a little Bad Blue if you want for like $2.
Yeah. Cool. Let's check it out.
One of the things I like about this bar is that it's kind of undercover, you know? Not a lot of people know about it. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's where I like to come, play some pool, have a cocktail. So if you've enjoyed what you saw today, go ahead and like. And if you want to see this more, these guys do this all the time. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and there's lots more you can see. Hit the bell, get a notification every single time a new video comes out, and just see what Denver has to offer. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers to that, man.
The Crush Walls is dope. They're, I think it ended on Sunday, but they're all over. They do it like every year.
Okay, so explain with Crush Wall. So RiNo is notorious for their amazing graffiti.
Yeah, so I didn't even know about it until last year, but
the graffiti?
No, I knew about it. I saw it as soon as I got here, but every year they do this event.
Okay, yeah. So
I think it's like 10 days.
Event.
Yeah, week long. And basically there's just, artists from all over the country. They come here and, paint cool shit like this. It's cool. The RiNo, the crush walls is awesome, man. You don't even need to go to it. You just
walk around and see.
You just walk around and see the artist painting. So you just stop for a minute, like, oh cool, like look what that guy's painting. Oh cool, crush wall, another one right there. You know, like
totally. So you are in the city here, so there are some spots, not many over here, more towards like 5 Points, a little bit closer to the city. You'll find more spots with like homeless camps and homeless just walking around on the day-to-day. And you do see it here, right over there. You see probably like 10 camps where people are stationed over there, but it's really a street-by-street thing. And you gotta have your street smarts on. Know, hey, if that alley looks weird and it's a little bit dark, maybe I don't go that way. It's that type of neighborhood. All right, so where are we at here?
Larimer.
Yeah, all right, so tell us about this.
So this is like, I don't know, a pretty happening spot in the downtown RiNo part of Larimer. You got Metal Art Bar here, Larimer Lounge, Denver Market, which is one of my favorite places to eat over here. Everything's closed off right now for COVID, but it's kind of cool. There's not much good from COVID, but I kind of like being able to sit outside all the time. Honestly, it's awesome.
Metal Art is cool.
It's right here.
Right here,
like
yeah.
When you're going down there, you're like, what the hell am I getting into? Because the first couple times I went there, I was like, it's a little weird going down the stairs.
Yeah, I thought I was going down. I just got one today. Thanks, though.
I'm bald, dog.
No, it's like you're going into like a little concrete
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy, but then there's just an 80s dance party out of nowhere.
Right, exactly.
Which is the best part.
Yeah. All right, Denver Central Market. All kinds of restaurants in here. There's probably like 6 of them. There's an ice cream spot. I like coming here just because if you're not quite sure where you want to eat, you just walk around for a minute, you get options. There's a bar, awesome outside sitting area with some really some of the best graffiti, I think. It is a little bit pricier here. You're not like getting sweet discounts at the place, but it's cool, it's trendy. It's like one of the hubs of the RiNo neighborhood.
Definitely. No, I just love it because you can come here and pretty much get anything you want. You can sit down at the bar, have a drink, you can go get a salad if you want something light. If you want something heavier, you can go to Izio Bakery. You can get some coffee if you're tired. There's ice cream. You can go to the sandwich place. You can get a burger over at SK Provisions. You can literally get anything you want here, which is great.
So over here you got Finn's Manor. Finn's Manor is cool because within this establishment you have multiple food trucks. So a little food truck court and just like random sitting areas. Again, a place that the line can get kind of long, but I think they do a pretty good job of making it fast.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different places to eat in there too, which is cool. I think there's like 5 or 6 different trucks.
Should we stop for a beer real quick?
Yeah.
Do you like Ratio? Is there a place
I don't really, honestly, that's not my favorite, but that's probably a good point. Actually, we should go to OMF.
Yeah, go.
OMF is my favorite. And you should get this on video, I think. This is Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's trendy for date spot.
I mentioned Barcelona in my things to do if you're moving to Denver and you're single video because this is one of my favorite date spots because there's tapas and there's wine. It's got a good vibe inside. Do you concur?
I concur. The bread at Barcelona, I know that you can buy it, like you can get a bunch of different tapas and appetizers, but the best part about Barcelona is if you ask them for a little bread, they'll give you a loaf of bread that's like half baked. You just take it home, put it in your oven at 425 for like 15 to 17 minutes, and then literally just use your own olive oil. And if the wait's too long, you just eat that. Oh, because Crema is right there, and that's the best coffee place.
I've never been there.
So go to Crema. Some of the best breakfast burritos around, and they even say, I think on their website.
Breakfast burritos.
Yes,
Lightweight
breakfast
or
burritos.
heavyweight division?
Lightweight. They have
division.
a vegan option.
So you get
meat
2
option.
of them, or you get 3?
I usually get 2 burritos.
3.
Yeah.
3 of any lightweight will put you
And
down.
I don't know if you like quiche, but hands down, the best quiche I've ever had right here.
No one expects you to know what they like. My favorite coffee shop is Improper City. It's got a huge area. I like Improper City a lot because during the day, it's a big open area. They got some upstairs seating, they got outside seating, and they have a ton of outlets. That's big for me. Just knowing that I can get a seat that I can post up and work for 6 hours, because I work remotely. And I think that's another thing about RiNo that it offers is like, there are a ton of spots if you just want to come to an area to work remotely, because I know a lot of you are, this is the area to do it in a safe manner. And this is some of the industrial, modern type of housing that you guys like, thinking like lofts, high ceiling.
Mi casa, su casa.
Cool. I like it. So yeah, I love this type of spot, like exposed HVAC, beams, exposed brick. Cool. I think this is a great example of what you could live like. And of course, this is an older building. There are some super modern buildings, but this is a great example of taking the just remodernizing the old industrial era. What up, Snowflake?
This is Snowflake, yeah.
Tell us about Snowflake.
I wanted to get a dog, but we talked about this earlier. RiNo is kind of a crazy place for a dog because there's not too many places to go pee or number 2. So I got Flake, and he's my boy. He hangs out with me right over here in the office where I work every day. Yeah, this is Snowflake. Say hey, Snowflake.
All right, so one thing I did notice, TJ, you know what I noticed?
What did you notice?
Not a whole lot of grocery stores in the RiNo area specifically. So where do you go to get your groceries?
Well, I usually go out to eat at all the restaurants.
That's
just
the thing.
Save my leftovers. I'm a big leftover guy. But if I need to go someplace, there's a Natural Grocers right here. It's got a lot of good stuff. Not a whole lot of meat if you're a meat eater. Or I typically go to the Whole Foods over that's downtown by Union Station.
Yeah.
Or there's a King Soopers there too.
Yeah. All right. So we're a little bit east of RiNo, but it's an area that you want to venture to because they have they have the Denver Coliseum, which has all kinds of events. That's where they have like monster truck rallies, and I think the Western Stock Show is over there too. So Western Stock Show, if you're not familiar, it's a big to do in Denver. They have a huge stock show parade with the big Longhorn bulls, but then Mission Ballroom is one of the coolest venues. It's huge, and we get some really good performers like Flux Pavilion, Steve Miller Band, Atmosphere. And so I've definitely thrown down and raged a little bit over here. So unfortunately, things we can't show you right now in RiNo are things like shows because nothing's going on due to COVID. And we really haven't been able to hit on some of the art in the River North Art District, which is a shame because that's what it's named for. But it's out here, and they have all kinds of cool galleries. They have a First Friday street walk here as well, typically. So the art shows, there's about 50 galleries in RiNo that we weren't able to show you. So again, RiNo is limitless with things to do. Hey, so that is a wrap on the RiNo area. We'll end it with that. I knew I wasn't going to do this neighborhood a service just because there's so much going on and there's new things popping up all the time. There's tons to explore. Shout out to Taylor Fink for holding it down and showing us around the neighborhood. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified each time we upload a new video. And if there's heard that. That was great. And if there's a neighborhood that we haven't shot yet, comment below and we'll get our cute little tushies over there and film it for you, all right? See ya. Let's roll out.
Let's roll out.